footballers, the most important thing in life is the ball. You live by the ball, you die by the ball. Ball is life. And as footballers, we all know that it's very rare to be blessed with 2 great balls. And when you do have 2 great balls, you gotta cherish them. And our friends at Manscaped are helping us with just that. They've gifted us an incredible package, including the all-new Lawnmower 4.0, the perfect tool to help our balls perform. You can use the code FootyCulture for 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. Link in the description.
Who is the best team in the world right now?
See, before the podcast started, we had Chris saying who?
It's getting a little hot.
Okay, don't interrupt me. I'm gonna say my argument.
Quote what you said.
Okay, I'm gonna say my what I said. Don't say anything, and then you could go after. So I said technically it is Chelsea because they won the biggest trophy in the world in the club stage, not in the world stage.
But they won the biggest trophy in Europe.
But it is also considered as in the biggest in club football.
It is the
The
biggest
Champions League is one of the biggest.
It's the biggest in Europe.
Considered, but it's not officially. It's not a world trophy. It's
but
a
you know
European
it is.
trophy.
No, but they're not technically the best in the world if they haven't won the World Trophy, which is the Club World Cup, which
Okay, but
Bayern won. So technically,
2020
that
though.
means Bayern is the best team.
2020 though.
Yeah, but we haven't come to that point now in 2021.
Okay, Chelsea's gonna go into 2020 and win it. So then what?
Will they?
Will they though? It
Yeah,
might
but
not,
they
bro.
can.
Okay, even if they don't, are they? They're not the best team in the world.
No,
Well, if they don't, then no.
technically they're not, and
Yeah.
and they're also not. Like they're just not.
Liverpool's better, like we said.
Yeah, Liverpool.
I'm not.
City's
I'm not-
better?
Okay, my argument wasn't that they're actually the best team because I said
So answer this. That's what Jay's saying.
No.
Jay's saying,
No, no,
answer,
that wasn't
answer,
the
answer
argument.
this question.
that wasn't it.
As Brazilians,
What?
I'll bring a comparison.
Oh no.
Is Brazil the best team in South America right now?
No, Argentina.
Are Brazil not first in the qualifiers for World Cup?
Argentina won the last trophy.
But are Brazil
Copa
are
America.
Brazil not in first place when it comes to World in the qualifiers?
Yeah,
By how far from Argentina?
I don't know.
So clearly they're the best right now when it comes to the football, right?
You're
Like-
proving our point.
no, he's
no,
not.
but-
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's not.
No,
Yeah,
he's
he
not.
is because you're saying Chelsea.
He's
are the
proving my
best.
point.
No,
Yes.
he's not.
Yes.
Because you're saying Chelsea are the winners.
He's saying that Argentina won the last cup,
That's what
right?
yeah,
he
and
said.
who won the
That's what I'm
last? And who
saying.
won the last the World Cup, the Club World Cup?
No, I understand what you're saying, but he's not saying what you're saying.
he said.
He
Yeah,
said that they.
is.
Okay, shh.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, go. Say that
Bayern
shit.
won the 2020 Cup, the World
Yeah.
Cup thing.
Which is
so
the last one you
Argentina
can win.
won the Copa America.
Which is the
Yeah.
last one you can win.
yes.
Which is the last
Now
major trophy.
Brazil is ahead in the qualifiers.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea just won the Champions League more recently, so they are more recently the better team.
No, that's absolutely not what he's saying.
absolutely not-
That is
That's
what he's
absolutely
saying.
not what he's saying.
It's 100% what he's
That's
saying.
absolutely not what he's
trophy.
saying.
Or you guys are lost. You guys.
You're
are
lost.
I know I'm not. I know
Okay,
I'm not lost.
wait, hold on.
Explain
Dan,
to us.
why are you talking to me? Dan, explain yourself.
I'm just saying when there's two different things. It's either Chelsea won the Champions League, yes, but Bayern are also winners from last year's Club World Cup.
Okay.
They're the holders of it.
Yes, but no,
2020.
statistically and showing in the last 10 years, which teams have won the Club World Cup?
European.
Okay, so who's most likely to win the Club
Most
World
likely,
Cup this
have
year?
they won it?
Who's most likely?
But we're not
That's
talking
a
about we're not,
prediction.
So there you go. Was I going off?
we're not
the
talking
top?
about
Yeah,
has.
you're still
We're not
lost.
talking about
Okay,
predictions.
no, but-
we're talking about what is.
No, but
I find
we're
you're
talking about
old,
what's
buddy.
definite.
Who's
Yeah,
most
we'll see
likely to
you
win?
next season,
We're
bro.
not talking about likely. We're talking about definite.
Who's most likely to win the Champions League this year? PSG. Are they gonna win? You don't know that.
Yeah, it's true.
Not really. We know they're not going to win.
favorites.
Not really.
Yeah, they're betting favorites.
Right now they're
Yes.
they're first right now.
Probably, yeah.
Just 'cause of names.
Updated.
When they started, yeah.
Updated.
No, we can
You think Chelsea is?
I'll check.
No, it's
No,
Bayern.
Definitely not
Bayern.
Chelsea, but I could bet Bayern too.
There you go.
But again, considering that what they most recent, Chelsea won the Champions League.
Okay, that makes them the best team in Europe.
But when it comes down to tier lists and levels of football, like people say European,
People say an opinion.
no, but also in people. Okay, extra opinion, but end of the day, people always say like Europe, the Euros is going to be more competitive football compared to South American football.
Is it though?
But that's what people say, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes down to it, is Champions League football not better than any South American Copa Libertadores football?
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe.
Yeah,
So-
it probably
It
is, arguably.
So
Hey, wait.
so the
What?
Champions
Actually,
League winner is the most likely to be the end of the day. The Champions League is the most renowned
Trophy.
continental level football for club level.
It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Chelsea's the best team in the world.
No.
You said Chelsea's the best team in Europe.
No,
No, you're
you're-
saying another team is the best team in the world that's also in Europe. So how does that make sense?
No, your choice of word was wrong.
I get what you're saying. My choice of wording is wrong, but you're basing it off of this World Cup that, like,
That is the world
would
title.
make
That is
them the best in the
officially
world.
playing
title.
like Corinthians and Shanghai Dragons. Like,
What's
who
your point?
cares, man?
It's the
I'm ta-
countries from the continents
Okay,
around the world,
great,
not
but
just
I'm
Europe.
talking about the UEFA Champions League. Who is the best team from that Champions
Notice how
League?
you just said UEFA.
You're switching up.
I understand it's Europe,
So you're switching up.
Okay.
but it's literally the best
Okay,
trophy.
Chelsea are
in the world.
arguably the best team in the world because they just won the Champions. They're not technically the
Yeah,
best
but
team in
is
the
yeah,
world.
but isn't that
Yeah,
isn't
okay,
that,
but
isn't that
you
the
guys-
team from last year?
Okay, but
isn't that like a
they're-
totally
It's
different?
2021.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but it's a different squad.
they're also just
2021.
making an argument for no
It's
reason.
2020.
They're also making
No,
an
but-
argument for no reason.
Yeah, no, they are. But like realistically speaking,
They're making an argument for no
Isn't
reason.
that the
Yeah,
point
they are.
though?
No,
Yeah,
at the end of the day, the point is that we know Chelsea is the best club in the world right now when it
No,
came
they're
down
not.
to it.
We don't know that.
because they won the Champions League
yeah,
recently.
last season.
Yeah.
Yes, but you
But
can't.
like-
Oh, but the
if
Bayern
Chel-
was a couple months more,
Yeah.
so it's less
Yeah.
relevant.
A lot of months more.
Okay, but
Like half
if
the
you
year.
put Chelsea and Bayern on the pitch right now, who's gonna win?
No, but when it comes down to trophies,
gonna
and
win?
who won the most recently?
We don't know that.
That was
We
that's
don't
not
know
part
that
of the
either.
argument.
Who's gonna win?
That's not part of the argument.
But we don't know that
It's-
either.
That's who that's. Isn't
And
that,
we don't
no,
know
isn't that-
Chelsea's
isn't
the
that-
best
yeah,
in the
that's
world.
how-
That's how
That's how the argument started.
Isn't that how you decide who's the best team in football is? Who's the best team right now?
No. So now you're getting lost.
How am I getting lost? It's
Because
the team that won the Champions League most recently is the best team in football.
No, but that's not. That wasn't our argument at the beginning.
That was literally your
You said
argument.
technically.
yeah, technically
They're the best in the
because
world.
of the cup.
Okay, so who's the best team in football right now?
No, I know who the best team is. I know it's Bayern.
No,
I
but-
that my,
but end
like
of the
you're-
day-
see, that's why you're lost because you don't understand where we were coming from because you came late.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you were a little bit lost. You didn't understand. I said Bayern was the best team, but I said technically it's Chelsea because they won the Champions League.
but technically they're not because they're not.
Yes, they are.
How? On what technicality?
They won the
So
Champions
you're- they were the best team of last
now,
season.
So now,
Exactly.
technically, you're saying Bayern is because they're the best team right now compared to Chelsea right now.
Well, he might not even be
because-
saying
No,
Bayern.
based off the Club World Cup.
He's not even saying Bayern. I don't know. I don't
At
think
the end
I
of
don't
the-
think you can
If you
compare
think
it
no,
off
but
of
if
like
you think about it, if
you
think
can't
about,
compare
if
it
you think
off
about
of
it's true.
trophies though.
You're
There's
okay,
no
let-
argument.
let me
There's
think-
no
okay,
argument.
It's
it's
kind
not-
of it's
not-
kind of a ridiculous trophy because like
it's a ridiculous argument.
to
and
use
ridiculous
trophies to
trophy,
compare, it's
but
ridiculous.
technically,
Yeah, based on
Bayern are-
technicality.
Yes,
they
but
are.
we're not. Okay,
does that mean
yes,
Villarreal are the second best team in Europe?
Obviously not. But end of the day,
No.
they're making an argument for no reason.
Yeah, it's an argument for no reason.
Just because of
They won a
Chris, just
trophy.
because
They
of
won
Chris's
Europa.
choice of words, they're making an
Trophy.
argument for no reason.
Yeah, no, I know.
Like they're just.
But it's
They like
true,
to bust
though.
Spatty's
Yeah,
balls.
no.
No,
true.
you know
Okay.
why though? You know why it makes
On
sense.
paper, yes, you can
Okay,
say
let me
that.
finish this.
But there's
you know
no
why
reason.
it makes sense though.
What?
There's a Europa League.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
You can't talk.
There's a Copa Libertadores
Okay.
and there's the
Champions League.
No, Copa Libertadores and there's European Cup,
Champions League.
Okay,
Talking
go
about-
on.
whatever. And then there's
Yeah.
the World Cup at the end.
Oh, okay.
Just because Italy won the Euros, does that mean that they're the best team right now?
What?
You mean Copa
No,
America, not Copa Libertadores.
Sorry, Copa America.
Yeah, you're tripping me
Copa
out, bro.
America and the Euros.
No,
Okay.
but this is completely different because you're comparing.
No, but at the end, the best
no,
team in the
no,
world
this
wins
is
the World
different.
Cup.
No, this is different.
The
Not
world-
necessarily,
the
No,
world-
this is
because- not
different.
necessarily.
You're comparing like nations like Brazil, Argentina, who are like literally the best, like some of the best teams in the world. Now we're comparing the Brazilian league. Are they a top 5 league? No.
It might
they're-
be.
Are there is South Korean and is any Asian team a top 5
But it's
league
the
in the
same
world?
thing
No.
because you're bringing teams
it's
from
not.
all around the world to
No, it's
play the
not.
World
That's
Cup.
not the same.
You bring all the teams around the world to play
Not the
the
same.
Club World Cup.
How do you know? Like by your kind of mindset that European like is the best, and yeah, arguably it is. But then why is there a Club World Cup? So the other
Because
teams
it's-
can prove they're the better team.
No,
and
it's not for
happened.
proving.
It's happened many times.
Not but in the past 10 years, when football has changed, 10 a decade,
How has football changed?
you don't think football changes
How?
within a decade?
But how?
The style of play, the coaching, the
Okay, Every
management.
decades have its style.
That's
but
what
what
I'm
does that have to
saying.
do with the level?
And do you think
The
if-
level is much greater considering that 10 years
the
from
level's
now.
not better.
You don't think
than
the
previous years?
You
No.
don't think the level of European football compared to any other football in the world is not better than the other
The football
football?
was way better last decade before that.
I'm saying right now, this decade, which football is better, European football or any other club football?
Yeah, European football.
Okay, so what makes you not think that a European team should be the best team in the world? Considering
That's what the Club World Cup's for, to prove that.
it is proven, considering that in the last decade the European teams have
But it
won it.
exists, so the other teams have a chance, and it's happened.
Yeah, it's also just an extra trophy they just tossed in there for no reason. Is a
But
super
it's the
is
World
it-
Championship.
But is a Super Cup needed considering that you're facing a level of European
But it's the
football?
world title.
But why? But
It's
why
to prove you're the best in the world.
Yeah.
why
is a nations
but
league
why,
needed?
But why is super? It's not. It's extra money.
Exactly.
They added
But
it
the
in
Club
there.
World Cup proves that you're the best in the world because you face the other continents.
Yes, but
from
it's
around the
It's
world.
an extra trophy that isn't needed in football. It just kind of just.
So how do you
tossed in
prove
there.
who's the best in the world?
Because European football is the top level football right now.
But how would you know that if you're only
Because they're
playing in Europe?
because they're top 5 leagues in the world.
So what if a team from Africa plays a European team and they beat them? Would you say the African team's the
You
best
can look
team
at
in
the
the world?
level of football, and you can look at the national squad itself.
Okay,
Yeah, but I don't
still.
know.
European
it's-
football comes to Euros and
I
World
don't
Cup. You can tell that European teams are better than African teams, are better than Korean teams.
Yeah, but the point of that Club World Cup is to prove who's the best in the world.
That's true.
but
that's the thing.
But
It is to
do
prove.
you not
it.
do you not see that maybe even the level of the fact that a lot of these players, a lot of these teams that come outside of the Europe, their best players are playing in Europe. Brazilian players, they're not playing in Brazilian league because they know the best league in football is played in
Yeah.
Europe.
Okay.
Best Korean players in Korea or South America, or sorry, in Asia, aren't playing in Asia still. They're playing in Europe
Yeah.
because it's top level football.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Obviously,
The
obviously,
whole
you're obviously
argument-
you're
okay.
this
My argument is that European football is top level football.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
is.
been that way forever.
Yep.
So why
Yeah.
can't
Not
you?
forever.
So what?
Not forever.
Not forever.
But it's been
In,
like
in the last 10 years.
Okay.
More than
shown.
that.
Okay, and this
Yeah.
trophy isn't 10 years old.
But I'm telling
It's
you,
20,
if-
in the
in
last
the-
20 years, it's still been
No.
Europe.
okay,
Interna-
in the last 15, it's 15
the
years old. It's
Intercontinental
15
Cup has
years old.
existed for years.
It's 15 years
There's
old.
5,000?
This cup is
There's
15 years
been
old.
matches between the best team in Europe and the best team in other countries for years, since the 50s, 60s. That's what it exists for.
Okay, but I'm
what,
saying-
what if in 20 years,
But we're not talking about 20 years. I'm talking
okay,
right now.
but what if you just said in the last 10 years that proves, so you're using a past basis to talk about the future.
Why am I talking about the future? We live through the past. We don't live in the future.
Okay, but I'm just saying, let's say in 20 years, maybe South America becomes better than Europe.
Okay, who
How-
knows?
won't,
Okay,
though.
No, but how are you
maybe.
gonna prove it with the Club World Cup?
Okay, maybe, sure. But
That's why it exists.
that's the
but,
argument.
But the argument isn't that if they do that for 10 years in a row or 2, 3, 4, 5 years in a row, then I'll give it an argument. Well, if they won 1 year in the last 10 years,
What we're saying right
maybe.
now. We're not saying
yes,
collectively
right, yes,
in the
yes,
past decade.
right now, in the last 10 years, European teams have won the Club World Cup.
Okay, but we're saying right now, this year. We're not saying in the past decade.
But are the odds not favored for the European team?
Okay, that's
Who
odds.
cares about the
Yeah,
odds?
who cares about odds?
Okay, but who's most likely to win it? Tell me
Who
right now.
cares?
What does that matter?
See,
Because they know it's Chelsea.
Yeah,
They
thank
still
you.
watch the Chelsea.
Okay, then
Yeah,
don't argue with me if you don't know the answer.
But that's not the argument at hand.
the argument
I
at
think-
hand is just because he said technically not. Look,
Arguably.
Yeah.
arguably,
But it's not arguable.
it's legit. The European teams are better club
100% they're
run
better.
football
Yeah.
than in
Yeah.
the South America.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why is it not fair to say Chelsea are the better team in the world right now?
Because you need to prove it.
That's
They
true.
did by
The
winning
trophy.
Champions League.
They did by winning the Champions. They're the most.
I'll prove
so
it
then-
against the world.
Yeah, no,
That's-
it's
I'll just
against
Europe.
that.
That's fair.
That's
Okay,
what,
but
fair.
I mean,
that's why
fair.
that.
But
I mean,
his
that's
arg-
why the trophy's
fair.
there.
End of the day, his argument is valid because
Yeah.
Chelsea have won the biggest league, continental club World Cup football.
The Club World Cup. Yeah.
No, club like
The
club,
Club World Cup. You just
club
said.
no, they no continentally, they're the best. They won the club football in best trophy in Europe, considering it's the best football in the world, right? So arguably, it's the most competitive. It's the most challenging.
Of course.
So it's Chelsea.
But
Not
this
technically.
trophy is made for that, and it's technically. I mean, the whole argument was dumb, but technically, they still aren't the best team in the world.
Yeah.
Club team. We'll end it off with that.
Yeah.
They got heated for no reason.
Either way, I asked a simple question: who's the best team in the world? Why did it go back to that argument?
Because Matt brought it up.
back.
just for a little banter.
The best team in the world right now is
Full
probably
bands.
is either Bayern or Liverpool.
I could still give Chelsea a shout for it because they play still different level of football.
What about Man City?
Just because they lost
Liverpool's not even
against
first.
Yeah, but they like, you
But
can
what?
tell.
Me, you could tell.
You can tell.
Why?
That they're one of the best teams.
who's not in first?
Liverpool.
Liverpool are in first.
Really?
Yes.
Who do you guys
No,
think
I'm
betting
pretty sure
favorite right
Chelsea
now is
lost
to win
this
Champions
weekend,
League?
and
Who do you
Liverpool
guys
took
think?
first
City.
place.
How much money you want to put on it?
Okay, Man City's in first then. Sure, by 1 point.
Still in
yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Okay, but
They're not.
Told
They're
you,
not
man,
first.
season first.